What is up, guys? It's Mason once again. Funny story. I've recorded this video twice, so I started two different games, and I tried with my two mics, and they were all messing up. So this is basically the third game that I'm recording. We lost one and we won one, I think. So yeah, if you're enjoying this, you can always like, you can always subscribe, and I'd really like to hear from you guys as well. So. My opponent is forcing me into a sort of like Jobava. This is 10 minutes, this is 10 plus 0, but my opponent is playing too fast. Yeah, I can go for this quick attack, but with the way my opponent is playing it, if I do attempt that, it could go against me. There's also ways of going like pawn push, and if he takes, I have a very good center. But that remains to be seen, especially after he plays something like e6 or d6 or something of that sort. So I'm going to simply play bishop to d3 here, in case he's planning on going here. Yeah, like I said, d4 is actually still looking good for me. There are ideas of... Now, let's see what's going to happen. I can still castle kingside. There's nothing stopping me from doing that. It depends on where my opponent goes. If he goes with his knight here, maybe I castle. Because knight there is simply just to provoke this move. Okay, yeah, I shouldn't have played fast. I'm already in my opponent's waters here. Pawn push may not be good for my opponent. I'm tempted to play b6, but I think it's wrong. Okay. Now, these moves just don't seem correct. Pawn takes here is what I'm considering. After bishop takes, I don't know what I do there. Castle's kingside now looks awkward. I'd like to actually see if my opponent is planning on pushing, to be frank. If he plays pawn push, okay, he took. That's also fine by me. I have some central pressure, I guess. What am I saying? There's no central pressure. I'm just saying stuff. But yeah, I'm okay. Since he played what he played, I'm actually quite okay with the position. Bishop back is one of the moves. I'll simply go this way. There's nothing I can do. Maybe, I don't know, queen up. And think about something on the queen side. I don't know, my position doesn't look good. I may lose this one like I lost the other ones. Yeah, but I hope you guys are enjoying these games and these series. I'd really want to know what you guys would like to see more from me. So as always, as I keep saying, leave a comment. Castle queen side. If my opponent castles king side, I think I have a very good shot. My opponent can also start a very strong attack on me, so it's not like I'm 100% winning this in any way, shape, or form. If my opponent castles, I think I just have this. Knight jumps here is not good for my opponent. So on and so forth. Because so he knows. Yeah, castle's queen side is just fine. I was wondering how to defend this guy. Castle's queen side is just fine. At least I hope so. Because knight takes is what I'm looking at. Knight takes, bishop takes. And am I correct in that assumption? Because he can just bring his knight back. Ah. I'm thinking about playing a bit risky here. Pawn push, he might just take, right? I think he wants me to play this move. This is bad. I'm cramping my position a bit more. This gives my opponent the chance to like bring his rook knight there. Okay. Okay. I played that move fast, but I know that like there's a lot of problems in my position. Do I take with the queen? Okay, let's take here. Attacking the knight. Knight has the only square to move is back here. Forward moves don't help my opponent's knight. So he could abandon the whole knight and then increase his attacking pressure on me, right? I don't get the point of that move. Pawn push. I'm trying to play. I'm down on time, so I'm trying to play a bit faster now. I don't know what this queen is defending that my opponent doesn't like. Because already the knight doesn't have any good squares, right? If I come in here, he comes in this way. I can take, takes, king comes up. Doesn't work. Okay. Okay, so takes. Okay. Still don't see it. I still don't see what my opponent is planning. Because this guy is not hanging. Like, he's hanging, but the rook is also under fire. So the question is, what do you want to save? You can move the rook either here or here, but eventually you lose this. Seems like my opponent is fine with that. I have to be very careful about my back rank though. He might play like... Oh, he doesn't play that first. Interesting. I thought he was going to play bishop takes first because it removes my knight's defense of this square. That's what I was thinking. But here I think we just play a simple move like this, trying to trade off the queens. Because if takes, my knight defends that square. Okay, so attack the queen. Queen takes. Come in this way. Queen takes, rook takes, knight takes. I think that's fine. I don't want to overthink the position. Okay. Uh, this is greedy. Yeah, I saw that coming in. Okay. And maybe he resigns here. Very nice. Oh, that was a close one. That was a close one. I think at a point I was losing. Not losing, but maybe I'd give my opponent a little bit of an attack. I was definitely up exchange wise and everything. I was thinking my opponent would come in here, in which case I'd have to figure out the defense. I was thinking maybe I just jump into this square and play from there. Wasn't so sure. There were lines I was looking at, but I just couldn't figure them out. Takes here, I don't think is a good move from our opponent, especially with a move like this coming in. If you take, I take, and then your back rank is still a problem. And now it's even a bigger problem because if you play takes, for example, this is something you would have to like think about as black, right? At first the king could run away, now the king can't, and we are simply just winning the game from here. So I wasn't expecting the rook to come in there, but my plans were very like straightforward. I don't know, this was the first and the main thing I was looking at. Couldn't really tell where my opponent moves from there. Okay, let's just say he moves somewhere like here. Are we safe with this move? Yes, we are, because after this, we have check again. King goes back. And we have a very nice move here, knight takes. Right, so then we go knight takes here, and we are threatening this move. This guy is also on pre. This move is not threatening in any way because my bishop defends, and I can simply go knight takes. So yeah, I think I was fine there. Maybe, let's see, my opponent goes back. Like, where did I say? Queen here. Bishop here. Let's say my queen comes here. He comes in this way. Check, he comes back, I take. It's the same thing, right? You just can't run away from this. This exists, but again, doesn't work. King goes back, knight takes. Same issue. Same issue for my opponent. Okay, so that was a nice game. Let's look at the opening a bit before we get into the the analysis. And I hope you guys like these raw analysis and you learn a lot from them. Okay, so we have d4, knight f6, and my opponent plays this line. Oftentimes, like, if you've ever watched my streams, twitch.tv/pen_mason, or even here on YouTube, I do stream here as well. You will notice that when I do play the Jobava-London and my opponent ends up playing this kind of move, I'm often happy doing this, right? It's a very good position here for white. Depending on where they push, some do this, in which case I come in here because after takes, pawn push, you have this is not good for black anyways. But you get the point. So I'm very conversant with this move. My opponent may see it as, okay, he's trying to force me to he may see that he's trying to force me to play my knight here, but I'm completely fine with this move, right? I'm not worried about this move in the slightest. Hence why, like, I went for this specific line or this specific strategy. Here is where I was actually a bit worried. Should I have gone just this way first? I wasn't so sure. But the moment I played this move, I felt black was actually good, especially when he played c4. Taking, I don't know. Maybe after like knight c6, then he has e5. I was really worried here. I didn't think I was doing so well here. Let me turn on the engine so that you guys can see what is going on. I wasn't so sure, right? The engine is kind of supporting black here, right? And I was thinking that if my opponent pushes here, it's bad for him, right? Because now I can comfortably push this pawn and this guy could hang, right? So you can imagine, for example, this, and then we get e4. If takes, you can see that this guy is also kind of hanging. So I was kind of deliberating on it, that this would probably help me. If you defend this way, I think I have e4. Might have this move or something. e4, e5. I would have some move here because the knight would have to move back. There's no forward move of the knight. Knight moves back, and then later on you can continue with this move, takes, and then you have some pressure. Pawn push with the ideas of this. So I think white, I would be okay here. I think I would be okay here. So he took. I noticed that this file was open, and where else? Yeah, I really didn't like my position majority of the time. I was thinking that he could take here, then I would take here. I don't know how good of a move this is. I didn't really factor much in, right? Because takes here, and takes here, and I wasn't so sure what was going on. I was thinking that maybe as long as I could get this move in, I'm fine. But yeah, I think I'm wrong here. I was also looking at this move first, right? And then if queen takes, then I take here. But then queen just takes, and then there's no point there. You just lose a piece. So here I was really out for the count. Maybe I should have just played this move. It's not good. I think my opponent can still just take, right? Oh no, I have takes attacking the queen. Oh no, I win the queen straight away. So the queen would have to make a move here. Yeah, because takes, pawn push back, and I don't know. We'll have to, okay, not there because of this, I guess, but yeah. My opponent was definitely pushing the envelope here. I started feeling comfortable around here. Here is where I started feeling comfortable, right? Because the queen comes in, and first of all, the queen takes me out of the pressure zone, right? My king is now safe, you know? So I felt okay there. Funny enough, I wanted to play this move, but then I realized that the bishop just comes in. And I didn't want to just repeat the position for no reason. Okay, so where are my key points of checking? Should I have just gone e4 straight away? I think I should have gone just e4 straight away. So I'm going to confirm what I should have done here. And here as well, whether knight moves was better. And figure out how my opponent could have made better progress in my position. So let's go to the game review. Okay, so we're on the game review. I was really struggling throughout this game according to the engine. I made a miss. My opponent had 4 misses. I mean, that just goes to show, right? It gives me a game rating of 2150 and my opponent 1400. That was funny. We both played the opening badly, and I got the advantage in the middle game. So let's look at some key mistakes I made. Bishop d3. I can agree, because ideally you want to put the bishop here in the Jobava-London system, right? But because of how the position was going, I was trying to play it like to that position in my memory. So yeah, this makes perfect sense, especially taking note of c5. You do, in some cases, want to get a knight here, or you can re-maneuver it this way. Yeah, so this move was kind of bad. C5, knight g6, the mistake. What does I think I should have played here? Takes. I was very averse to playing takes. But what about, instead of knight here in the first place, I played pawn push? Knight back. That's a very, like, this is just showing that your position is actually bad. Like, damn. Because your opponent can still go c5 here. I mean, you can't do this now, which, if your opponent pushes, like we mentioned, this is still good for white. But damn, this knight is just going to be very bad. Castles. Okay, so what my opponent have done here, he should have taken. Okay, yeah, we looked at that. He should have taken for sure. And we probably would have done what? Show follow up. It's not showing the follow up. It's okay. Okay, I just it's I have to use the other analysis. This is not showing what I'm looking for. Okay, from that point I was fine. I want to know like what exactly got me in the bad position. So instead of this, he should have played queen to g. Knight takes d4. Okay, knight takes d4, we know. My move is bad here. So here it goes knight takes e5 rather. And here I thought I was actually fine if he played knight takes e5. I don't see how this makes my opponent's position better. Yeah, it prefers that I play this move instantly. I did consider this move at that point, but I wasn't so sure. I wanted to get myself an extra defender. Funny enough, another thing I like, let me turn this off. Another thing I was taking a look at, sorry. Funny enough, another thing I was taking a look at was what I think the engine is recommending, right? That I could have played here, and if my opponent does go takes, this is actually a very good position for white. That was my thinking, because my king can just hide out here and it's safe. I don't really care much about this. I can just simply hide out here and I'm safe. Queen takes here doesn't do much. Engine is even saying I can go straight with takes here. But what about, let's say my opponent takes here. Queen takes h8. Yeah, so okay. Here first, queen takes, and then here. What happens? Bishop to d6. I don't get bishop to d6. I'm thinking that the plan is bishop takes, right? Bishop takes h, and the point is if your opponent moves, I don't know where, this is just like over, because this is the end of the game. I think that's what's mentioning here. Yeah, so I was thinking that if I was the one playing and I did go this way and my opponent went takes, I'm more or less likely to go this way. It's slow, but I'm more or less likely to play this way. It's a big miss because I lose the attack, right? Knight takes e5. Yeah, knight takes e5. Takes here, then my opponent jumps back, I guess. Wait, what? Wait. d4. Oh! Winning the knight is not that big of a deal. In fact, I can't even win the knight because the queen takes. Oh, that's so beautiful. Yeah, I was in over my head there. I would be in over my head there. Yeah. Quick check. I would have even given, if I was the engine, I would have given it an inaccuracy because I felt like it gave me a good position. Again, I think if my opponent took here, this is just completely fine because you have to play this. I take here, you play rook takes, I take here. Completely fine with this position. Completely fine. Yeah. So that's a good game. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I do stream Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Mondays are elo grinding streams. Tuesdays is a steady stream, and then Fridays I do play viewers. So if you're interested in playing me, come around on come around on Fridays, and we'll get into it.